could I get 2 Southern filet biscuits? That'll be all.
Okay, $7.86.
They're usually 2 for $5. It says Cajun filet's 2 for $5, and they usually do the Southern 2 for $5.
The Cajun's the only one that's on sale.
Forget it.
Yeah, it's getting a little difficult either way right now. No matter which way I go, but the pain changes, does different shit. Heart rate does different shit. Heart surgery is going to be coming quicker than planned. So, I don't know what he'll do about that. And the radiation, I mean, it's just going to fuck it up even more again. You know, because I know it's, you know, I'm wit's end with bullshit as far as that goes. But at least I'm not going to jump off a cliff with all the bullshit now. Hell, there didn't even have to bullshit before, and I still won't jump off a cliff, even on good days, for no real good reason, just because the medicine says so. Anyway, so that's a whole motherfucking fiasco there, let me tell you. But it's not been kind. And acne again. Y'all see this crackhead ass looking meth head shit? It's fucking stupid. So anyway, it's been a rough run the past few weeks. I just want to say about Beach Creek, you know, the more likes are kin to him, but I'm hoping today, because the official sale of that piece was on the 7th, you tell them that I hope it eats that fucking bitch alive, because they got maybe $3,000 of that property, but somebody's got a loan for $487,000 to try to build a $500,000 house on that piece that, I hope falls off the goddamn bank. I hope her greed eats her and everybody else. Had she taken my offer, which is way over what the fuck anybody deserved and what their property's worth, because unless ours comes with it, it ain't worth a goddamn fuck. And they can't build on it. I just want to make that clear. And she knew, here's the thing, I just want to let everybody know, because I'm just at the point where I'm going to start shit and I'll burn the goddamn creek down. They knew what they were selling. Somebody needs to maybe whisper that, for the first time in the history of Beach Creek, people are tired of out-of-fucking staters and out-of-towners thinking they're going to move the fuck in there and do this bullshit. I've never seen anybody move on top of anybody else that wasn't family inside of the country like this, but here we are. That there are people that have already signed statements saying that she called them months prior to listing, and she was well informed of what she was selling, knew that our springs and our well, which I've already been assured will not be built on top of by the permit guy and the courthouse. So these people, when they show up and the bank's not done their due diligence, and Joey fucking Hahn with Clinch Mountain Realty, and this dumb bitch knew what she was selling and was offered the surveys, which we pulled out of our goddamn closet since they're all family. And let's make no mistake, before y'all go whispering at Beach Creek, but Andy and them and everybody else, they're all fucking kinfolk. And that's why that existed in our closet, along with our neighbors who has theirs framed, and we now have ours also in a frame. Knew what she was selling. She didn't get anywhere near the asking price. And if her and Sarah had simply taken our fucking cash offer, including the offer to go ahead, which is, I mean, it's like our neighbors told her it ain't even worth fucking $400 an acre. It's not. It ain't shit. But I offered her way more than that cash, and to pay the fines and shit for pulling out from the realty place if she just stopped the goddamn sale and took it. I hope she enjoys that $3,000 or $4,000 cash she got. Either way, she's getting ready to be sued by whoever just bought that fucking shit, and I really don't give a good goddamn. That being said, it's been a hell of a week. It is what it is. How are you going there and smack some people?
I possibly need my fucking wallet.
Well, I'll put it right here in my tattoo place. But anyway, it's been a really weird fucking week, and I'm just kind of laughing, because had she taken our fucking offer cash under the, you know, because here's the thing, they ended up taking, because they were smart people, and she's apparently not, and she ended up taking our fucking, you know, because hers was cash talks, because she knew what was up, and she was trying to fuck taxes too, whatever. I was like, look, I'll give you what the fuck ever you can do, whatever you want to do. After that, she didn't do that, and they apparently asked her for repairs and costs, right? Because if you know what you're doing in real estate, land sales, or anything else, you know what to ask for after somebody's taking your offer and you're negotiating at the last steps. They've taken off $7,000. Looks like it's sold for $11,000, which is blasphemy, but I'm sure that's not the case. I'm sure that if you call the IRS, all that's not reported, and everybody's taxes will look a little funky. So I'm sure there's cash otherwise. But the point is people would have made more had they just taken our fucking shit. And none of this would be happening, and people wouldn't be in danger. And I really don't give a good goddamn. That being said, it doesn't matter how long they're there, they're going to eventually fall off the fucking bank, even if they're allowed to build, which I'm sure might be the case, considering Hawkins County's all about trying to break up big tracts of land and displease people, and I don't know, whatever the fuck. Damn. That being said, it doesn't matter how long they're there, they're going to eventually fall off the fucking bank, even if they're allowed to build, which I'm sure might be the case, considering Hawkins County's all about trying to break up big tracts of land and displease people, and I don't know, whatever the fuck.
110 Bridge Hill Road off of Beach Creek should be the first residence on your right. Reference to a missing 4-year-old. The parents have called in and advised that the mother had went for a walk, came home, now they can't find her. They've been yelling for her. She's been off for about 10 minutes now.
Yeah, for 1 Miracle.
again, 110.
10-4, how Mesa? 335, I'll be around as well. Got the original call that mom went on a run, when she came back to daughter was gone.
10-4, that's what the father advised. He's at work, about an hour away, trying to make his way home. 10-4, you want us to try to contact Tina?
Let 302 know, and I'll think he's going to let rescue make that determination.
302 has been notified. He also wanted me to just remind you to be sure, check the house, camper, even if they said they've already had.
In the playroom. I said, okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone. Because of property things that had happened the day before. So we were listening for noise. Everything was kind of quiet.
The sale brought a plethora of people to their door, confused about which piece of land was for sale, leading to a dispute of property lines.
While we were out at one point doing survey lines, and there was a flash of a car that went up Candace and Donnie's driveway. Something about it struck me wrong.
She and her family next heard a truck door slamming and dismissed it as their neighbors. The next sound was harder to justify. About an hour and a half before Summer is thought to go missing, Jody Sue, her son, and her daughter heard something far more suspicious. A scream.
Stopped all three of us cold.
Her daughter was the first to go to the cabin door. Then all three were there, listening still.
We heard just this kind of shrill, almost animalistic scream.
Animalistic, but not an animal.
Knew it was, wrong. It wasn't a dog. It wasn't an animal.
That vigilance kicking into overdrive. Jody Sue and her son went out to look for the source of the scream.
My son and I decided to go out, look and see what we could see. We went back onto the bank. Didn't see anything, didn't hear anything.
They went on with their evening. The kids returned to being kids. Jody Sue headed down her driveway around 6 to tend to flowers.
And at this point, I start hearing Candace hollering for Summer. And then my brain immediately went, scream earlier, this, uh-oh.
Jody Sue was the first to hear those calls and the first to join the search for Summer.
I dropped my purse. I tried to yell up at Candace. I was like, I'm looking, and I started looking.
Jody Sue searched one side of a creek, Summer's brothers the opposite side.
And you gave statements to the police, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Jody Sue had been interviewed many times by investigators, bringing up the scream often. But the sheriff doesn't believe the scream is related to the disappearance of Summer Wells.
She's been interviewed numerous times by not only my agency, but the TBI and FBI, and we don't find anything with that complaint or information related to this case.
And he was very much selling drugs to the children at 110 and to Candace for those children.
So you do know it was happening. You know what was going on next door.
Now, what all that was, I don't know. But I do know it was happening. And I very much think it plays a role in what was happening to other little girls over there. And I very much do think that it could be part of why Summer was so asleep. Is maybe possibly Candace giving her the shit Andy was selling to her. And I think that it was occurring since before the Utah trip.
So that's why it's probably best if you just give the receipts to the TBI because, they might not know this.
It is part of why Josie was taken to Utah. Even though that was kind of a fucking lie, right? Why he went to Utah. But it's Andy's fault. And Candace's.
Yeah. So what I heard was, and this was a while ago, that the boys were also taking things. The oldest boy, at least.
You remember Candace saying Josie was, or Allie, or one of them, talking about how Josie was using, and it's the reason he was taken. It's not the reason Josie was taken out there. But shit occurring around that time is why.
Well, it's not that really a question. It's like, even the kids are very memory created. But there's also a spot on the main road that carries that sound the same way.
Okay.
And it is way far away. And it's the way the valley carries. But it's out on the main road close to where the command center is, too. All the way to the left. Close to where the
all the way to the left. So you would hear it past Don and Candace's house. Would you hear sound coming through all the way from the main road to here, or all the way out here toward you?
All the way out to the left. It'd be almost close to where the footprints were, but across the opposite street. Because the way the valley carries the noise.
Entire communities, they keep hidden from you on all their little live streams. Everybody's separated, or they make sure streams are only turned certain directions so y'all can't see, while they tell you that neighbors and they're pro-tragedy pimp and just love them in their neighborhood, but that's one.
It's possible, but to me, it's always come from bottom of because that first day, it hit me in a different way than it did the kids. But I knew from where I was hearing it from, it was wrong, right? And I knew that it was not possible to be in that location, and the kids knew that it was at the bottom of the driveway area, right? And I explained that to the cops. I was like, but it was where I was sitting in the cabin is the reason it carried to me a little differently.
Okay.
But where, as opposed to where kids were sitting. But I knew that it was wrong. You get what I'm saying? I knew because of the wrongness where it actually was. If that I don't know if that makes sense.
They're telling them to get the hell out of their neighborhoods and away from places and call them tragedy pits. And I got to tell you, the first few times I heard that, I damn near, like, super cried. Thanks to others and to John Crimes, would teach her to make a stick, and then the Slurs didn't like that term, so I kept using it. You should hear their recorded phone calls, and in lives you hear it a few times too, and she's like, we don't use that term up here, it's not very nice. And then I just kept using it, and kept using it. And everybody uses. You see the real footage and things like that, and hear the real voices. You know what they're screaming. I've even been hearing law enforcement use it. I've been seeing it said by journalists and media, but that's including the public now, the communities. And it doesn't matter if they try to take power from words, try to own it, or put it on a candle like Perplexed or whatever.
The one across the street does it all the time, every day.
I know. It's always a difference between here and there. I don't know what the fuck the deal is.
It doesn't matter. It's too late.